Welcome back, guys. Episode 79 of the Hassle of Hair. Today it's going to be Keaton Kiewra, chess international master, Nebraska state championship 9 times in a row. He also is, I believe, coach and teammate of the San Diego Surfers, a chess league team. And we first started getting interested in chess because of
oh wait, I didn't get interested in chess. I just like the show. You got interested in chess.
Yes. But
we binge watched The Queen's Gambit.
yes, the Queen's Gambit. It's a fictional show about, I guess, a prodigy in chess.
Yeah.
And we just got hooked. We binged it in one day, right?
Yeah. How long are the episodes though? Are they 20 or like 40 minutes?
They're like 40 minutes.
We binged it in a day, and the last episode you fell asleep like 30 minutes in. So I was like, fuck this, I'm watching it. With or without you. With or without you.
A whole day.
Sometimes we need that though. Just lay on the couch, like couch potatoes, and binge watch something.
So but we loved it, and yeah. I think after the very next day, I just looked up top United States chess players, and then I looked on who kind of really was online. And Keaton was, and we're about to interview him in a little bit, but he's a super nice guy from the online games that I've seen. And he reached out to me right away, and he said, yeah, let's do it. So it took about 2 months.
I was going to say, it's been a while since you reached out to him. It's been like 2 or 3 months, right?
Yeah. And we planned a day, and then we rescheduled, and then we rescheduled again, and then finally we're here. But yeah, so I'm excited. Because chess resembles martial arts a lot, and anything, right? The learning process. I keep on talking about the learning process with people, and once you're able to learn, you can learn anything, right? It's just a matter of figuring out how to learn stuff, and it takes a lot of effort and learning something. And my problem is I get addicted to things real quick. Yeah.
Like martial arts, not drugs or anything.
No, not drugs, but I can't do 2 things at once. I need to learn my balance, right? That's the hard part. It's like I'm addicted to this podcasting, but now I gotta get it back in the groove of training. And once I get it back in the groove of training, it's like it goes away from my podcasting. It's all balance, right? And then being a husband, right?
You can't multitask?
Yes, I can't multitask.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
But we went to the alleys. We got some cool shirts. I got this Cramps shirt. You ain't no punk, you punk. But I got this Cramps shirt, and I got a bunch of other cool things. I got
fabric.
Fabric, yeah.
I feel
Fashion District.
Why does it feel like I got something else though? Maybe it was just fabric.
We also went to Super Rare.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Fighting Goods.
On Melrose,
yeah,
in Los Angeles.
What'd you think of the shop? It's pretty sick, huh?
I thought it was cool. I thought the way they had it set up, it's not that it's simple, but it's there's not a lot of shit in there where you're turning everywhere to look. It's everything's organized where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and it's crazy because there's like big name.
Oh, he got this light.
Oh yeah, I got this light from some chicks that were like super like trying to flirt and twirling their hair and trying to convince me to buy a $35 light.
We only paid $18 for it.
That's not a $35 light.
No, it's plastic. I thought it was gonna be heavier, like metal or something, but it's plastic.
When you seen the girl like come up to me and say, "You want this for $35," and she was twirling her hair,
if you would have fucking bought it, I would have been like, "You're dumb."
Yeah.
She's all 35. I was like, "No, you all know." I'm like, "Well, if you want it, get it." And then it kept going down. They're like 30. Okay, 20, 28. Okay, 25. Okay, 20. Okay, 18. She did not like put like any like how do you stand like not effort? Effort. She just kept lowering it and lowering it and lowering it.
She was just so used to wearing skimpy outfits and guys saying yes all the time. But I'm not 20 years old anymore.
Yeah.
That shit don't slide on me. 20-year-old Jessie, I would have bought it for $45.
She wasn't even offering it for $45. It was $35.
But luckily, I just walked away, and I could have probably got it for
You
lower.
probably could have got it for like $10 if she
Yeah.
was already at 18.
Yeah, but it's Taco Tuesday, guys, because today is Tuesday. The episode is on Tuesday. It is Tuesday.
That's
today.
hilarious.
Wink. But yeah, that was our weekend. We went to Super Rare. We drove
we
to
also
LA.
went to some ice cream spot too that Eva wanted to go to.
Yeah, I guess she said it's like famous
Something
for the celebrities.
ice. I can't.
Happy Ice?
Happy Ice? Is it Happy Ice?
I think so.
Let me look before we say Happy Ice, and it's not Happy Ice. Let's see. Sorry, y'all.
But you guys, if you're new to the Hassle of Hair,
It is Happy Ice.
It's Happy Ice, guys. I guess Eva was saying that all the celebrities go there.
Yeah, I think it went to like Will Smith's house and stuff like that. They have like a what is it, like a mobile like ice cream truck or whatever it is.
Yes.
So.
But it was just a fun trip that we needed, and Eva had fun.
Yeah.
You get cooped up. You keep on trying to tell yourself, stay motivated, all this stuff, but then once in a while you need a break.
Just so y'all know, it was busy down there. Like, I don't know what people are saying, like everybody's quarantined.
Yeah.
We
people were like shoulder to shoulder.
People wearing masks, but like
it was normal.
Yeah, it was normal.
Everybody says California's locked down, especially LA. LA ain't locked down.
No, there was so much traffic yesterday.
That shit is packed. Like,
yeah.
I just think people just watch the news too much and they need to get out. I mean, the only thing that we can do is wear a mask and try to stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you're willing to go out and do stuff, then it should be on you, right? Like, it's up to you, and people need to hustle. That's one thing, right?
Everywhere we went, though, there was people out. Like where we went to Super Rare, there was.
They're shooting a music video.
Was it a music video?
Yeah, I felt
all I know is I smelled weed. That's all I know. I'm like, just let me walk through.
I was like, "What's up?"
I should have went like this to Eva, like.
Because they're a bunch of hip hop artists, like creators, and you could tell they're just hip. And I was just walking by, like, "What's up?"
With this bag from shopping.
And it's just the video girls were there. The music video girls were there. People were around their cars, and it was just like, I don't know, it was crazy. But no, it was normal. It was normal.
Yeah, it looked normal. I don't know how it was before the pandemic, but now it to us it just looked normal.
Yeah, and it's just it was fun. I keep on telling Raquel and Eva, because we got COVID, and I keep on saying we got 3 months of superpowers. We got 3 months. We got the antibodies. We got 3 months of superpowers. We good. Month and a half left, guys. Month and a half left.
That's so funny.
So.
And Jesse got a new face.
Oh yeah,
he got
my new mustache.
He just got off his set, Spaceballs or something. He was porn stash and shit. He looked like fucking porn star over here.
No, but if you guys are new to the Hassle of Hair, we're an inspirational podcast. Not so serious though.
We share inspirational people.
Yeah, inspirational people with their stories and them going after it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not gonna sit here and tell you got to do this, you got to do that, and you got to win it, or just that typical motivational speakers kind of stuff that anybody could go on Instagram and try to be inspirational. I'm not trying to do that.
He's not trying to be Jocko.
Yeah, that's Jocko is real, right?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of people out there that are fake as hell, and it's kind of like I'm trying to show the people that are inspirational that they don't go on social media. Yeah, they don't go on social media and just put their face to a camera.
Or their ass, or their tits, or their abs.
They really love their obsessions. They really love their passions. They go after it. And Keaton Kiewra is one of those, right? And in chess, you have to be dialed in for a long time and trying to learn it. So inspirational is not what you say, it's what you do. Right?
Yes, that is good. Not what you say, what you do.
Dang.
But
What's up, Jocko? Where you at? Where you at, David Goggins?
We don't need those people that give. I'm gonna give this person $100. Here's $100.
But we are about to have our guest on. We like to thank our sponsor, Adaptive Sessions. Go check him out on Instagram. Mm-hmm. He's a pad holder. He'll hold mitts for you. He's a former amateur.
Purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
He's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, former amateur Muay Thai fighter, and he's just a martial artist that loves the craft, and he's also certified in kettlebells. So go check him out. He'll hold mitts for you, or he'll help you with kettlebells and get you a good workout. Support those that support us, guys. So much more coming. Love you. And
enjoy this
interview with Keaton Kiewra. We love you guys.
Okay, perfect.
Awesome, guys. Welcome to the I just introduced him before this on the when it was just me and her. I have with us Keaton Kiewra, a master in international master in chess and 9-time Nebraska state champion. And I think
that was a long time ago.
And I think I read somewhere you're ranked 24th in the United States.
Oh, I don't think I was ever that high. I mean, now I'm probably barely top 100. I think at my peak, I was definitely top 50 in the U.S.
Nice. And you kind of drifted towards teaching more than anything, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, okay. Pays the bills better than playing.
When did you start doing? How did you pick up on chess?
So my dad taught me how to play chess as a kid. I was into, other games like checkers and, Connect Four and stuff. So my dad thought I'd be a natural at chess. And he tried to teach me when I was 4, but I just didn't really grasp it then. But when I was 7, I kind of started to take to chess. So I started to play with my dad more and more and kind of learn. And then I started playing some local tournaments around Nebraska where I grew up, some scholastic tournaments. And as I got more serious, my dad got me a coach, and I just started, getting more into it.
And those tournaments, you just show up? Is there coaching involved, or your dad just basically coached you?
Well, my dad coached me when I was just starting out, when I was a beginner. Then the tournaments, you just show up and you get paired against other kids, and then you play a kid each game that has the same score as you. So if you win your first game, you play someone else who won their first game. If you lose your first game, you play someone else who lost their first game, and so on. And each tournament might be maybe 5 matches in one day or something.
How many kids would be there?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, at the tournaments in Nebraska, I don't know, maybe anywhere between like 20 to 150, depending on how big the tournament was. But I did used to play the national scholastic championships, and those were huge. I mean, those would be thousands and thousands of kids.
Was that like a weekend thing? Like how many days was that? Was that a whole?
The national tournaments would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Something like 6 or 7 matches.
I don't know if you ever watched Bobby Fischer.
Searching for Bobby Fischer. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But do you remember the scene when it's the kids are playing? It's the finals, right? Even the scene when they
lock all the parents downstairs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one's hilarious.
Is that how it is? Are the parents that serious about it?
Oh, they can be. I mean, of course, they exaggerate it a little bit for the movie, but yeah, I mean, a lot of the parents are really serious. I mean, in a lot of the cases, it's the parents who are kind of driving and pushing the kids. So a lot of those parents take it really seriously.
So it's just like any sport. Then a parent is like that, because parents get like that for basketball, football.
Oh, totally.
Football.
Yeah, same thing in chess. Yeah.
It's so crazy because we didn't know what the world of chess was like until we saw Queen's Gambit. Me and my wife watched Queen's Gambit on Netflix. And
well, I'm a little embarrassed to say I actually haven't watched Queen's Gambit, although I've heard so much about it. But yeah, it certainly has.
You don't need to watch it if you're living it, right?
Well, it certainly has done a lot to popularize chess. That's for sure.
After we watched it, that's when he was like looking up chess players here in the United States, and that's how he found you and reached out to you as well.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. And it's funny because I'm on the mats for the last 2 years. I've been on the mats training in Muay Thai, and I didn't think it would resemble martial arts, chess and martial arts are kind of the same way. And it playing. So ever since Queen's Gambit, I reached out to you the first time. I've just been playing almost every day.
Oh,
Not
that's
really,
awesome.
yeah. And
On the phone though, like against the computer, not with.
well, no, I play against.
You play against
other
people?
Yeah,
Oh.
I lose all the time.
On like chess.com,
Chess.com, and then I have another
Lee
friendly,
Chess or something.
yeah, it has a cartoon and
Oh, perfect.
it's more I guess the casual player
It's
friendly.
definitely more fun playing against people, I think, than
Yeah.
against computers.
But it's crazy because I didn't know that in chess it's so much like martial arts. To get good, you have to constantly see different games. Like you have to
Yeah,
play
totally.
all the time. And
Mhm.
I barely found out there's a beginning, there's a middle, and then there's an end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm barely in the beginning. Like I'm barely learning about beginning and openings. I mean, openings.
Well, actually, the Russian school is they start from the end game. And the Russians have dominated chess throughout history. Probably like 75% of world champions have been Russian. So they actually start by teaching the end game before. I mean, they teach how the pieces move, but before they talk about like opening strategy, they actually start by learning the end game and kind of working backwards, which is interesting.
That's really interesting actually, because I didn't even think of it that way. Actually, the jujitsu, you have to really get yourself into bad positions when you're about to get tapped out, when you're about to get choked. So it kind of makes sense. That's how you kind of start. You start at the end of
Yeah,
As
getting
getting
tapped
choked out.
But who were inspirations for you growing up in chess?
Oh, well, definitely the world champions. Kasparov was the world champion at the time when I was growing up. So he was a huge inspiration for me. He was a great hero. At that time, that was before Magnus Carlsen. So he was kind of undoubtedly the greatest of all time from that era. So he was definitely a big time hero. Definitely looked up to Nakamura a lot. Not sure if you've heard of him, Hikaru
No.
Nakamura. The Japanese
Magnus is
name,
very
but one of the top American players. And he's the same age as me, and he was like the youngest chess master in history. So he's someone I always had a lot of respect for and try to
Is he
emulate
the
his
one
style.
on the chess YouTube all the time? There's a
Yeah,
guy.
probably so. He's a really
Yeah,
popular streamer.
Yeah, I see him all the time. I never got his
Yeah,
name.
yeah, that's him. Yep.
And so I've been listening to the book I told you about, The Immortal Game, The History of Chess.
Yeah.
And chess used to be such a like martial artists and generals and these war people, the people that did combat would play chess all the time.
Oh yeah, chess is a war game.
Yeah, and I feel like it's not like that anymore. All the martial artists that I know, either they're hiding that they play chess, or they just never even tried it.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
Chess has really changed. It's very computer heavy now. And so a lot of the people, well, it's really kind of gone, I'd say, in almost two directions. It's a science and it's a video game. So a lot of the people who really get into chess now are either people who really like to study it, just like use all these databases and computer technology and really study chess, or it's actually gotten huge in the gaming community, thanks to people like Nakamura. They see it streamed on Twitch, streamed on YouTube, and it's almost become a video game kind of culture, which is pretty hilarious.
Yeah.
But completely different how it used to be. It used to be viewed, I'd say, much more as either an art, a sport, or like you said, combat, a fight. So I think chess used to have a lot more of that kind of appeal, but I would say that the evolution of technology has kind of made it more into a science or a video game in the modern age.
And it's so crazy because it really, even though I've only been playing for a little bit, really diving into it, it's helped me through martial arts. It's helped me see different things.
That makes
And
sense because it would connect patterns. It would
Yes.
connect neural networks, I would think.
It's very I'm so my mind is so it's crazy to think that you see moves ahead of time, right? You could see
Sure.
30. What's the farthest you can
Well,
see ahead of time?
30 would be quite a lot, but five or 10 is very
That still
normal.
amazes me.
Yeah.
Do you play online like he does?
Oh yeah, a lot. Yeah.
I've watched some of your videos with Nakamura.
Oh,
And,
cool.
yeah,
Cool.
and so how do you get to that point? What's the learning process through chess? Like, how do you get to
Well,
seeing
it's
10
like
10
anything
moves?
else. You kind of need the 10,000 hours of mastery.
Yeah.
So you got to really put a lot of time into it, study all phases of the game. So as you talked about the opening, the middle game, the end game, you have to practice. You have to play games, either online or tournaments with people. Having a coach is very helpful. Also, like you said, looking at games of the best players in the world is really helpful, seeing how they play, what they're up to. And then, like, either reading instructional books or watching instructional videos just to pick up pointers along the way. So I'd say, as far as like what to study, a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And then really you just have to do it, just have to kind of immerse yourself in it for a certain period of time. And then, if you're able to do that and you're able to learn, you'll keep getting better and better, just keep improving, hopefully.
It becomes super, like, it becomes an obsession.
Oh, absolutely. Tell me about it.
He plays it before we go to bed on the phone, and I, happen to glance over, and he's like, "It's over already. It was only like maybe like 15 seconds." He's like, "I lost in like 2 moves."
Oh no.
It wasn't 2 moves.
Okay, I'm over exaggerating. It's probably more than that.
So can you take us through, because you went on a run in Nebraska, 9 straight years of the state champion.
That's right. Yeah.
How old
Yeah.
were you then when you won?
Well, I won my first one at 14. So I guess it was from when I was 14 till I was 22 or 23. And during that time, I was winning a lot of scholastic national championships also for my age group. Um, so yeah, I mean, that was like my teenage years, and I was studying a lot. I worked with a coach who was a grandmaster, which is the highest level in chess. And at that time, the technology wasn't quite what it is today. So he was from Russia, but he lived in New York, and I lived in Nebraska. So we were doing our chess lessons over the phone. We were
Oh,
actually
wow.
talking on a landline, with each of us having a physical chessboard set up on our table, and we were doing the lessons that way. He barely spoke English. So that was an adventure.
That is, was he able to see all your boards or something? And
Well, we use the notation to communicate. So we'd say, okay, we're going to set up this position. All right, now what if white moves the knight to c5 and then black plays the pawn to d6? So we would use the chess notation in order to, communicate about what we were looking at. And it worked amazingly well. When we were talking chess, we were speaking the same language. So
yeah,
it was
that'd be
really good.
crazy if I was doing over the phone lessons in Muay Thai.
Yeah.
um, so so when you're on your run of 9 straight, was it just all chess? 14 to 22, was it just all chess?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, was doing a lot of chess, was studying a lot, was playing a lot. Yeah, it definitely caused me to put some other things on the back burner, giving up sports at a pretty young age, just not being as well rounded as some of my peers, because that was kind of my choice to, put a lot of my effort and attention into chess and to try to get as good as I could get during that time.
Do some players, do they get burnt out,
Oh, absolutely. Like crazy
even
they
the
do.
champions?
Yeah, I mean, they get really tired. I mean, yeah, I mean, people retire all the time, and for elite players, it's not that unusual for them to retire in their 40s or 50s. So yeah, people get absolutely burnt out. I mean, the higher the level you play at, the more taxing it is and the more demanding it is. So I mean, the top players in the world, it is literally their entire life. I mean, they're working on chess 10 hours a day or more.
How often from the time you started from 7, you said you started at 4 and
Yeah,
then picked up
that's
again at
7
7.
basically. Yeah.
How often would you go to tournaments and stuff like that? Was that every weekend or?
Not quite that often, but maybe once or twice a month, I would say. I would probably play a tournament.
And where's the farthest that you went? Was it only in Nebraska or you went out of
Oh,
there?
I traveled pretty far. I played a lot in Nebraska, I'd say up until my early teens. But then when I got to the point where I was already winning state championships in Nebraska, it really became important for me to travel and play bigger tournaments. So I traveled all over the US playing tournaments. I'd play in Philadelphia, Chicago, Florida, different places. And then when I got to college, I went to UT Dallas to play on their chess team. And they, at that time, had either the strongest or second strongest collegiate chess program in the country. So I got a scholarship in order to play on their chess team. And they used to send us, well, not that they'd send us, but they'd give us training money that we would use to play in Europe.
Oh wow.
So got to play in Greece and in Spain and Czech Republic and Croatia and
Man,
some really interesting places.
looking back, were you, because when you're doing something and you're obsessed with something, you kind of sometimes you don't take the time to really and like really take notice of what you're doing, right?
That's a
Looking
great point. That's a great
looking
point.
back, do you just see how crazy that is and how the
Yeah.
opportunities you got?
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, I was just so immersed in it and so focused on it. And I think one thing I've always done a pretty good job of is taking some time to enjoy, where I'm at, like to enjoy the experience. That's definitely something I think that I would do maybe more so than most chess players. I mean, there are some who really are just, wrapped up in the chess and that's all they care about. But for me, I always knew how to have a good time as well. So that was never really never really too much of a problem for me. But yeah, to a certain extent, when you're that focused on what you're doing, then that kind of becomes the point of the trip.
And one thing I think people that don't know understand chess or never really watched it, I barely found out that there are kind of like white through black belt. It's
Yeah, different
master.
titles.
Yeah. So what are those titles? Because all I know is master. I barely found out about I thought it was master then grandmaster. I didn't know that there's.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
there are some in between. So first of all, when your rating is between 1,000 and 2,000, it's divided by letter classes every 200 points. So like 1,000 through 1,200 is class E, 1,200 to 1,400 is class D, and so on until you get your rating over 2,000. If your rating's over 2,000, you're a chess expert. Over 2,200 is master. And then beyond that, there are different degrees of master, which are not only about rating, but also norms. A norm is like basically a really strong performance at a big tournament. So, in order to become an international master or a grandmaster, not only do you have to have a high enough rating, but you also have to have 3 norms, either for international master or for grandmaster.
And what are those points from though? Are those from how fast you finish the game or
Not
move?
how fast, just the result of the game. So, like when you just winning a game, you gain points. Losing a game, you lose points.
So you can get
So,
points taken away from the points you gained.
yes, exactly.
And
So,
when
yeah,
oh,
your rating just depends on your results.
and when you got to international master, was your goal always to get to grandmaster or is
Always, yeah.
okay? So is
Even world champion.
okay is so getting international master, is that were you excited about that or
Oh, yeah.
what was
Yeah, I was
was
really
there a certain
excited about
day?
it. I'm sorry.
Was there a certain day that you got it? Do you remember
Yeah,
that
well,
day?
I earned the title in Spain when I was 25. So I think that would have been around 2013, 2014, sometime around then. So that was when I became an international master. Um, and then, I was excited for that, but definitely, I still had the goal of trying to make grandmaster. So I was focused on that.
Are you still trying to do that?
Not really. I mean, I'd still be happy for it to happen, but I can't really say that I'm trying for it. I mean, for one thing, in this last year,
Yeah.
tournaments have been very few and far between. Just because getting people together, in this time is very difficult, and the ordinances, and then just whether or not people would want to do it. So there really have not been very many tournaments since March. There's been online, but online's good for staying sharp, but it doesn't really count for anything
Why is
rating
that?
wise.
What's so
Well,
different about it?
online, I mean, for one thing, it's much easier to cheat online by using computer technology. Not that it's that hard to do over the board either for people who really are savvy at it, which kind of sucks. But that's just an unfortunate thing about how advanced chess computer technology is, that it's really just not that hard for someone to use a computer program to basically play a game for them. And it's, especially people who are good at it, it's hard to catch them when they do that. But still, it's much easier to catch people doing that if it's over the board. If it's online, it's even much harder. So
Yeah.
it's just a little bit harder to take results seriously online when there's such big potential for cheating. um but still, the online is good for practicing.
Yeah, and what else, or have you dived into other? I know there's other games like what's I forgot the Go. There's other games like Go. Are
Yeah,
you into
people
Go
love
too?
Go. Well, for me, definitely my other big game is poker. I've definitely
Oh,
played I definitely played a lot of Texas Hold'em. Well, I
yeah.
went I went to college in Dallas, Texas, so I kind of learned to play there, and have played sporadically ever since.
Have you
I
won
haven't
some
played
money?
too. Oh, sorry.
Have you won some money?
Yeah, I won some money. I'm decent. I mean, I never really I've had, the ambition of playing professionally before. I've never really gotten to that point. I mean, I'm definitely a winning player career wise, but I don't make enough that I could ever justify doing it professionally.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but yeah, poker is definitely my game of choice other than chess, which actually is very common for chess players. Because there's so much money in poker, a lot of chess players really get
He
into
can't
poker.
play poker when
No,
we
yeah.
go to the casinos
Yeah, I
because
have.
once he starts building up the coins, he's like, okay, all in. And then it's gone.
Nope,
He
I have
has no patience
no patience.
whatsoever.
But why is that? Because in chess is almost a solved puzzle, right? It's it's almost to the point where computers figured it out. And
It's close. With
yeah,
computers, it's close. I
but
don't
with
think that's too relevant for humans, because humans
yeah,
just can't know everything that computers do. But yeah, computers are getting close.
but then poker is it's something that's not. There is a gamble. Chess is not really a gamble, right?
And that's honestly what chess players who switch to poker have the most trouble with, because in chess you're really, responsible for most of your own fate, depending upon how you play. Whereas poker, there's always that element where you can do everything right and you can lose because, you're unlucky. So that is something that chess players struggle with, when they make that switch. But I think there is a lot of carryover, though, just like the analytical power that a lot of chess players have translates well to poker. Some of their patience,
Yeah, it takes
just
so much patience.
the
So
the
much
the
patience.
lifestyle also. Yeah, I get so bored playing Texas Hold'em. I mean, that's a big problem for me, actually, because sometimes I get like you, sometimes I just go all in. But back in the, when poker was big online, I used to play, like 4 tables at a time, and then I wouldn't get bored because, there was always some kind of action. But if I'm just playing 1 table, it's so hard to be patient.
It's crazy
But
because oh, sorry, what?
no, go ahead, go ahead.
It's crazy because computers kind of changed the game for poker too.
I think they
Because
did, yeah.
you would have these players that would have 10, 20 games and at one time through some sort of, I guess, program. I don't know what it
Yeah.
was. And they're playing a bunch of games, and that's how they would win the money because of numbers, analytics, and I
Yeah.
was just sorry. I was just talking to a Daniel Barbarisi. He was a journalist that went to Daily Fantasy Sports,
Oh,
and
cool.
he dove into it, and it's kind of like the same thing that people were making multiple lineups. I don't know if you've ever played Daily Fantasy before,
No, I
but
haven't.
so you'd make a lineup for, say, hockey. You would make a
Hmm.
lineup for the day from multiple teams, and there's certain stats that give you points. And if your lineup for the day scores the most points, you win a lot of money.
Ah,
People were getting so you would think uh, daily fantasy sports would be people that were into sports, jocks, athletes. They weren't winning. It was these people, these basically these educated people that were really,
analysts.
yeah, analysts, and they were winning. They were winning because they were having 30 lineups, 40 lineups, and just putting them out there because
Wow, they're taking over the world.
yeah. So computers, it's so I'm so in love with those kind of things with chess and poker. How computers kind of just change it all. And
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that they necessarily change it for the better. I mean, they definitely make a lot of contributions, but yeah, I think to a certain extent they take kind of the some of the elements out of the games that make them fun.
yeah, and Go, it's not solvable, right? Is it
I don't know.
solvable?
I haven't really played Go.
What is
Yeah.
it? What is Go?
It's I haven't dove into it yet, but I gotta search it up and look at it. But I'll figure it out. But I did want to ask. So after you went through playing chess at a high level,
Mhm.
and now you started teaching,
Yeah.
how was that transition?
It was a pretty smooth transition. I actually still improved quite a lot as a chess player after I became a coach. And I've been a coach for a long time. I've been a coach for about the last 10 years. So yeah, it's been fine. It's been a good compliment because then sometimes I could take time off from coaching and go play for a while, and then go through those cycles of playing a lot of chess and getting burned out on it, and you're like, okay, I'm not going to play for a while. I'm going to go coach. So it's yeah, coaching's been really good and fun and rewarding. I should mention though, definitely as far as what I'm the most into when I'm not doing chess, definitely it's meditation.
Oh,
That's
nice.
something that I'm really into. Yeah.
I've tried that. I've tried to read. I was actually reading a book about it, and I got halfway through, and I need to try again because I get when I get angry, not angry about something, but when I get frustrated with something, I can't control it. Like I just can't explain it. So I think
Well,
meditation
I'll bet it
helps with
would
that.
really help your martial arts.
Yeah. And how much do you meditate?
That's a good question. It definitely varies from day to day. But I'd say it's not unusual, maybe like half hour a day or something like that. I mean, nothing too extreme.
Right when you wake
I'm
up?
not like one of those monks, uh, lives in a cave and meditates 12 hours a day. But it's definitely had a great impact, on my chess career, but more importantly on my life.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
Right when you wake up or when before you go to bed or different times?
I'm not that strict. A lot of my friends are pretty regimented. So like maybe they'll have a routine where they'll wake up and they'll meditate. Or they'll do it before they go to bed. For me, it just kind of varies. I just kind of see depending on my mood. But sometimes I'll do it when I wake up, or sometimes I'll do it at some point during the day or in the evening. That's probably something that would be good for me, is to be a little bit more structured. But yeah, I'm not that structured with it.
Yeah, I today I feel like bag work is kind of like my meditation. Today I was having just a frustrating day, and I decided to go run to the gym. I opened it because I had I'm an assistant coach there, and I opened the
Oh,
gym
cool.
for myself at I'll plug them, Strike Fitness. But but I opened the gym, and I just wanted to hit the bag by myself. Nobody was there, and
Yeah.
it was a form of meditation. And
Oh, that seems very meditative.
yeah, if there's people there, it's different. But when you're by
Yeah.
yourself and you're hitting a bag and you're hearing yourself and you're just
Yeah.
focused on this, it's just
Yeah.
it's a really cool thing.
That seems very meditative, and that's probably like what I would tell people too, as far as meditation. You don't need like a fixed, image of what it is. Sitting cross-legged, doing this, and this. Meditation is just all about tuning in. It's kind of about concentration meeting awareness. It's about being in the flow, being in the zone. So I mean, you can be out for a walk or run on the beach and go into a meditative state, or you can be, sparring, with a bag and experience that. So, yeah, I mean, it can be, whatever's right for everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome, Keaton. And I wanted to go back to your teaching. When you
Yeah, sure.
started teaching, did you get better as a chess player? Because I know for martial arts, once you start teaching, you're able to see things you didn't see before because you're breaking it down.
Yeah. No, definitely I did because I wasn't an international master yet when I started teaching. I think I'd probably been teaching for 2 to 3 years before I became an international master. So yeah, I definitely improved a lot after I started teaching.
That's awesome.
How many kids do you coach? Is it coaching or teaching?
Either way. Right now I probably have about 15 to 20 students.
Oh
The
wow.
most I've had at a time, it's probably been like 30. I was like really maxed out. But 20 is pretty comfortable.
Do any of them have they ever played against each other in tournaments or anything?
Oh yeah, like crazy. A lot of them have been in the same places. I've coached like two brothers at a time. So yeah, very, very common for my students to face each other.
What's the youngest that you've coached so far?
That's a good question. Maybe like around 5 or 6, something
Oh
like that.
wow.
But of course, that's very rare.
Do you
Yeah.
think that's young for a child to start that age?
Yeah, it's not unusual, but it's definitely about as young as a child can start with chess. I mean, but it's possible. I mean, most kids, their brain is developed enough at that
Mm-hmm.
point that they can, grasp some stuff. So,
There's a part in Queen's Gambit. I know you haven't watched it, but it's a fictional show. So it's fictional, right? But in one of the
yeah, it's
scenes,
fictional.
yeah, one of the scenes, she looks up at the ceiling and she's able to see the board without having a board there, and she's moving the pieces.
Yeah,
It,
oh yeah.
can you do that, or is that all
Yeah, I
fake?
mean that's just visualizing the position in your mind. Yeah, I can do that, and other title players can do that.
He was after that. He was laying down. He's all.
I can't see
I don't.
the
I don't usually look up at the ceiling when I do it. I'll just kind of close my eyes or something and think about it. But some people look up at the ceiling actually. So
board. That's awesome. Keaton, I don't want to keep you much. I don't want to keep you too much longer. You gave us enough time, and I
Yeah.
want to thank you for that. But
Uh,
and I know you're busy.
are you
And,
taking any
no
new?
rush.
Are you
I have
taking
time.
any new students?
Okay.
So if anybody wants to learn.
Are you
Oh
taking-
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, hit me up.
And when you get a student, can you pick out which ones are going to be really good or which ones are going to be decent, or is it just all about learning?
Well, I mean, sometimes I'm really surprised. I mean, I definitely have my predictions. I mean, my intuition when I start working with someone, I might see a lot of potential, or I mean, more often than not, probably what I gauge the most is just their level of passion for the game. I think, anyone who's really passionate has a great chance to get good because they're gonna stay with it. Whereas someone who's not really that into it, like I get some kids, I can kind of tell it's more their parents' wish for them to be playing than it is theirs. So that's
Mhm.
usually a pretty good predictor of someone who's going to burn out pretty quickly. Um, But yeah, I mean, I have my predictions, I guess, but sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm not. I get surprised quite a bit, so
And it's
can
funny
never quite
because
tell.
it's funny because I'll see with any sport. Growing up, I seen kids be really good. I had cousins that were really good at baseball in their
Hmm.
teens, and I see people, I see kids at the gym that are really good, and they're just phenomenal. But I have this rule, kind of wait until they figure out if they wait until they find boys or girls, because
Oh, that's a good idea.
once that happens, it's like something happens where they're either gonna love what they're doing, the passion, or they're gonna run to the whole boys and girls thing. And
That's
it,
true. Yeah, it
yeah,
is actually very common for kids to get out of chess around middle school.
yeah, which that's
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah, there are a lot of kids who are really into it in elementary school and kind of get out of it around middle school. It's very normal.
man, I'm so upset with myself because there was a kid in elementary that was really good and always playing chess, never really went to recess, and uh, I would go out and play football and baseball. And now as I'm older, I wish I would have just stuck and stayed in that room with that kid and just kept on playing chess. I just
Nah,
why what happened?
you made the right decision. When you're a kid, it's good to be outside, getting exercise, playing sports.
Yeah, that's true. And
Yeah.
it's just do you find in chess, do you find athletes, people that work out a lot?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. The top players in the world definitely keep themselves in really good shape because it's such an endurance contest at the high level. So yeah, absolutely. That's the case.
I forgot which pro it was. It was a grandmaster. I don't know if it was. I think it was Queen's Gambit that they said it.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
But he says the grandmaster was saying, "I'm getting old. All the younger people are gonna start catching up to me."
that's what's happening.
Does that age matter in chess?
I mean, yeah, the youth definitely helps a lot because of the energy.
Can you explain what you mean by the energy?
Yeah, I mean, it just chess takes a lot out of you. So you have to have a lot of energy to put into it, a lot of physical energy and a lot of mental energy. And it's definitely harder for people as they get older. I mean, part of it's aging and part of it's just, having more of a life when you get older,
Yeah,
having careers or
yeah,
marriages or families, but yes, it's a trade-off. I mean, when you're older, you have the experience, you have the savvy, but when you're young you have the energy, the passion, the excitement. So yeah, I mean, chess is definitely not that you can't play it at a high level when you're older. I mean, there are top players in the world who are over 50 years old, but I think like other sports, it takes a lot of youthful energy to really play it well.
yeah. And I didn't at first. I thought of sports as just physical, right? I thought of football. I thought of
Hmm.
baseball, where you're physically being active. And now that I'm diving into different things, and martial arts really opened my eyes to the learning process.
Right.
Anything that takes the amount of, you say, energy, it takes a lot of energy to
Oh
learn
yeah.
something.
Well, and a lot of times in chess tournaments, you can be playing chess 12 hours a day
That
because a
is
lot of times
insane.
it's two games a day and each game can go 5 or 6 hours. So you can be playing 10 or 12 hours of chess a day for 4 or 5 days in a row.
Oh wow. Is there breaks in between those 4 to 5 hours?
Small breaks, like an hour or so.
See, I play 10 minutes. The 10 minute.
Well, right, right. Yeah, online everyone plays faster,
Yeah,
but live tournaments, the games can go really long.
Oh
man. And
wow.
so you're just sitting there looking at the board for. So how long is the long? Like, what's a average time for a turn, basically?
Well, it would depend a lot, move to move. I mean, maybe like 5 minutes, maybe like 3 to 5 minutes. But games can go anywhere from 30 moves to like 100 moves. So it depends. But yeah, I'd say the average game at the high level might last 3 or 4 hours. A 1 to 2 hour game would be very quick. 5 to 6 hour game would be very long. So I'd say,
Wow.
3 to 4 hours would probably be the average time that a game would last. And then the tournament usually has 9 games.
I would think they cut out.
Oh,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I hear you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
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 Sorry, it cut out for a little bit.
I was just saying that like a tournament usually has 9 games. So
That's mind blowing because I'm like 10 minutes. I need speed, Keaton.
yeah.
Speed.
Oh no. I mean, I think that the time controls for tournaments are way too long. I can't stand them. I can't stand like playing chess for that amount of time.
Yeah.
I especially think it's really unnecessary because if you look at like the top players in the world, like Magnus Carlsen or Nakamura, they can play probably almost as good a game in 3 minutes as they can play in 3 hours. I mean, obviously not quite, but the amount of not quite is so small compared to like the exponential increase in the amount of time. I'm with you. I think I like rapid chess a lot better.
So, I just want to. I'm so fascinated by chess. There's so much.
That's cool.
I'm gonna keep in touch with you and
Also, absolutely.
and I'm so fascinated by it. But I just want to thank you for doing this for us.
Yeah, my
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Yeah,
And-
great to meet you guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
And is there? I guess I like to ask people that have gone all in on their passions that are kind of successful. Or you're successful in your passion, right? You've done all those things.
Oh,
And
definitely. It's been a wonderful thing for my life. I've met a lot of my best friends through chess. It's been an amazing opportunity to travel and to see the world. So it's been a true passion that's really given me a wonderful life.
And do you have any advice for anybody going after their passion? It could be just in chess, or it could be someone that's going in anything else. Just advice on going in on your passions.
Well, probably nothing too original. Just follow your passion, live your dream. You can do it.
Nice. And is there anything you want to plug or anything that you want to tell the listeners?
Not really, but yeah, thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed it, and definitely best of luck in chess if you get into it and go that route, and best of luck in whatever you do and whatever your passion is.
Awesome. Where can people find you, Keaton?
So I have a website. I don't use it too much anymore. Probably let me send you my chess.com profile.
Okay. And I'll put that in the link below.
Yeah, cool. That has like links to my email and stuff like that.
Awesome. I keep
That's
on telling you, email is the best way to contact people.
He just started saying that because everybody he reaches out to he can only contact them through email.
It's because
You're not in the screen, I
sorry.
don't think.
It's so hard to find interesting people that I'm worth talking to because they're not on social. Smart people and successful people are not on social media. It's so
I definitely can believe that, especially considering a lot of the stuff I've been seeing on social media recently. I can definitely believe that smart and successful people are steering clear.
I just want to thank you for coming on. I'll put the link to your chess
Awesome.
chess.com profile below, and I'll plug that on my profile.
Thank you.
And I just want to thank the listeners for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed learning about chess, and you're going to see me become a grandmaster one day.
Hey, there you go.
Thanks for listening, guys, and goodbye. From our interview with Keaton Kiewra, chess player, international master, 9-time Nebraska state champion, really cool guy. What'd you think, cow? Sorry, I don't know why I did that.
I thought it was pretty cool. I mean, When you see movies and like what is it, Finding Bobby Fischer,
Yeah.
and the kid in there, I don't know how old he is. He's what, like 7 or 8,
Yes.
and asking Keaton how old he was, and he said that his dad started him when he was 4 years old. I thought that was crazy.
But it that's what it takes to. I mean, not all the time, right? There are outliers that start things when they're older.
Mm-hmm.
But you really have to start young to really dive into something, get really, really good at it.
Yeah.
Right?
But 4?
He just had I mean, would you consider that a good childhood?
I don't know.
It's hard to say, right? Because look at us. No one really pushed us to get really, really good at something.
Okay, yeah.
Right? That's not knock on our parents,
Mm-hmm.
but we didn't really find out what we wanted to do with the rest of our lives until this year.
I think we knew, we just didn't have the time, and we thought working a 9 to 5 was normal, and we needed to do that. But in reality, we didn't need to do that.
Yeah. But it's look at what he said. He said that he went all over the world through chess.
Yeah. As he got older, yeah, he did.
Right. And you could do
And
that.
he said, what international, what is it? International master, or what is it?
International
And
master.
he said he got that when he was in Spain. Man, I would love to go to Spain. But I didn't get to play chess. I don't even know the game.
Yeah. But what do you think that now we're in an age where computers and social media and the way things are, that you could find any hobby.
Yeah.
Get really, really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And then make money off of it and travel.
Yeah.
No one's saying you're going to make millions of dollars off of what's that game? Sweeping in the Olympics. On the ice.
That's how you know it's not popular, because I don't even know the fucking name for it.
It's where you're on.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name for that.
Let's look up how much a top sweeping player makes.
Sweeping?
Right? Yeah, because they're in the Olympics.
That's not called. But what if it's not sweeping? What if that's not it? What if that's not what it's called?
Sweep. Is that what the sport's called?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, let's check what it's called first.
Check Olympic sweeping. It's not gonna have a janitor or something. Oh my god. Sweeping Olympics. Okay.
Yeah, it's called sweeping.
Oh, okay, it's called sweeping.
Oh, no,
curling.
It's not. Curling. My bad, guys.
You didn't even sweep here.
So it's when the guy. So
it's when the player, not a guy.
The player, girl or guy, or
Thank
both,
you.
or yeah. So but
when the player
throws the whatever it is, that little round thing on the ice, and you try to hit the
bullseye,
target, the bullseye that's drawn on the ice, and the other people are trying to slow the thing down. And I don't do this.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay, I don't have a stick
all of a
in my
sudden
hand.
he got a porn stash, and now he's like this.
If you're just listening to this, imagine me trying to demonstrate pushing a pole back and forth. Okay.
Over his mouth.
No, that's not what I said. It's not what I said. Okay.
That's what he's doing.
Okay. But they try to slow down this big giant puck onto the target.
Okay.
Right? And it's just a sport that you really have to dive into, right? So I'm gonna put in, how much do the top curlers make?
Okay, go.
How much money?
How much ducats?
Ducats money. What do you think?
Like, I don't know.
Guess.
50,000.
You think 50,000 a year or 50,000?
Ooh, highest. This has to be like 0.5%. So can make upward of
$100,000 a year. If you don't know what curling is, and you're probably American, because American people are not into curling. This is such a different out of the United States sport. But look it up. If you look it up and when you watch what they're doing, how much do you think they'll make?
Click on who is the richest curler in the world.
So hold on before I go into that. It says a ranking of the earnings women curlers have made in 2017-2018 season shows the top 10 athletes making $40,000 or higher. The rest anywhere from $39,000 to $100.
So do you still want to be a curler?
If I could make $10,000 a year off of that, I would do it.
Top curler, or what is it? Is $200,000 just from basically rolling bowling on the ice.
I gotta have a curler on. We need to talk to a curler.
No, not after we're making fun of it.
We're not making fun of it. It's just that's what my point. Like, find anything you love, and you can make money off of it.
Yeah.
Right, guys. Here's something that I believe. Just don't listen to me.
Move your drink off the table.
Okay. Don't listen to me because I'm.
Don't listen to me, guys.
But I think after this pandemic,
okay,
it really rushed what was going to happen in the future, and that's a lot of technologies taking over. And when technology takes over, people have to go back to why they're living because their jobs get taken away, and now they're stuck having to learn a trade. And a trade is not just a mechanic, not just
carpenter,
not just a carpenter. A trade is your passion, right? And you learn it. You use that to make money. Right? Martial artists, like, it's not just fighting. You see these martial artists becoming, they're adapting to becoming trainers. Wink, wink, adaptive sessions. But it's their craft. And now we're starting to see who really has crafts. And it's just, I think you're going to see a lot of people going after their passions and figuring out that that's what life's all about. And yes, there are people that have to make money for their families, and that's okay. That's very, if you're a driver or you're a hardworking person and just trying to make money for your family, that's different. You have to. That's your responsibility. As a wife, a husband, mom, dad, that you need to protect your family. But if you're 25 years old with no kid, no girlfriend, nothing, then there is no excuse why you're working a 12-hour job, right? You gotta go live, man. Even if you're 35 with no responsibilities and you think that life is just like, it's just too much. It's
peace. I'm about to be there. Bye.
But just stop what you're doing and just go after it.
Please, nobody quit their job, and don't listen to anything Jesse is saying. We are not held responsible if you lose your job or you get kicked out of your residence. Don't listen to anything he's saying.
But that's what I'm saying. Like,
because he's about to get kicked out too.
But if you don't have, I don't understand people that don't have kids, that don't have responsibilities, that don't have bills, or someone that they're taking care of, and the only person that they're feeding is themselves.
So what was your excuse then?
What?
Well, what do you mean what? What was your excuse?
For
when
what?
When I first met you.
I was going after it.
After what? The bitches with no ass?
But I was I was 22. You guys, I was 22 when I got married. I was 22. Okay, can we not? I don't know if the listeners know, but we knew each other for 6 months before we got married.
And what are we coming up on?
8 years. 8 years.
What? Just all you're gonna say, Satan?
8 years. 8 years. 8 years, guys. And I don't know about her, but I'm happy.
I'm happy.
But yeah,
I think as long as we've been married, I think this is the first year. We've only been into it. How long? Let me see. 17 days into the new year, and I'm happy.
Yeah, but so
sorry.
I hope you enjoyed that interview. Comment below what you thought of them.
Or let us know who you want, what you want us to be. Let us know. Jesus. I'm sounding like you now. Yeah. Fuck.
Let us know who you
Yeah.
want on the show.
Or
right?
what
And
do you
I'll
want
try
us
my
to
best.
podcast? Or who do you want us to podcast?
What type
or
of person.
topic. There you
Yeah.
go. What topic you want us to podcast? There you go.
If you made it this far, guys, that means you guys are very interested in the show. I just want to say thank you for listening. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe on audio or YouTube. And if you have subscribed on Apple Podcasts, do us a favor and give us a rating. Tell us what we're doing wrong. Tell us what we're doing right. Give us a 5-star review or give us a 1-star review. But anything's better than nothing, right? So, and thank you to those that have.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for all those Coffee Crew, Kiko, Adaptive Sessions, Gloria, Christina,
Grandma.
Grandma, my Aunt Lisa. Who else is that?
Whoever it is in, where is it? Is it? I'm gonna say it wrong. France.
And my mate, the mate. You know who I'm talking about. Thank you for listening. And whoever is in France listening, you've listened to almost every episode. You've never reached out to us. If you don't have a social media, email us at thehassleofhair on gmail at gmail.com.
At Gmail.
thehassleofhair@gmail.com. That's for anybody that's the listener. And we also have another email that we use for thehassleofhair50@gmail.com. That one is used for guests, for people that they want to be on. So just email that one if you want to be on or you have a person in mind. The hassleofhair50@gmail.com.
He's gonna put the emails in the links.
Yeah. So
I didn't even know about these emails.
thank you for listening, guys. And I hope you enjoyed the episode. So much more content coming out. We have Filimona coming out on Thursday, and we have our wedding podcast, our marriage podcast on Friday.
Oh, so who's getting married?
But you guys go after your passions. I hope this is authentic enough for you guys. I don't want to be a motivational speaker. Do it. Just got to do it, guys. You know what I mean? That's some bullshit.
Nike already does that. It's just do it.
Don't. Just do it. Just do it. I don't know. That's some bullshit. But
anyways, go on.
have a good rest of your week. And
We out.
We out. Peace.